Previously, Rayon's stealthy assassination attempt on Eden took a shocking turn. Despite landing a critical hit, Eden's lightning-fast reflexes allowed him to dodge the fatal blow. However, the attack still managed to sever one of Eden's arms. Eden's response with a mocking laugh, as he taunted Rayon, "Did you think I didn't notice you? Missed the previous parts? Go catch up. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Now that we're all caught up, let's begin." Eden's expression changes to one of surprise, his voice tinged with admiration. "Although it may have been a surprise attack, you're quite skilled to have taken my arm. What a promising Sieghart." However, his praise is short-lived, as he quickly follows up with a devastating assessment. "But that's all it is. Seeing your current state, it's clear that you exhausted a majority of your stamina with that one attack." Rayon stands before him, gripping his sword tightly, his body language screaming exhaustion. Rayon's grip on his sword tightens, his mind racing with the consequences of his actions. He thinks to himself, just like he said, "I overexerted myself because I planned on ending this with that surprise attack." His thoughts are laced with frustration and self-doubt. He realizes that his decision to put everything into that one attack has left him severely weakened. His body aches with fatigue, his movements restricted by his exhaustion. "So now I can't move properly," he admits to himself, his eyes fixed on Eden with a mix of anger and desperation. Rayon's eyes narrow, his voice firm as he asks Eden, "Are you the one in charge here?" Eden's response is immediate, his mocking laugh echoing through the air. "Ha, do you think my superiors would show themselves over a puny village?" Rayon's anger ignites, his face reddening with rage. "You never know," he snarls, his words dripping with venom. "You crazy bastards were never one to act predictably." Eden's expression twists in anger, his voice rising in a menacing tone. "You're quite sharp-tongued despite your appearance. Let's see how long you can keep flapping those lips of yours." With a fierce battle cry, Eden charges towards Rayon, his sword flashing in the light. Rayon, still reeling from his exhaustion, prepares to defend himself against Eden's onslaught. As Eden's sword comes crashing down, Rayon raises his own sword to block the attack. His mind racing, he thinks to himself, "I'm not completely recovered yet, but that goes for him as well." With a surge of adrenaline, Rayon summons the strength to block Eden's attack. The two swords clash, sparks flying as the blades meet. Rayon's arm trembles with the force of the impact, but he manages to hold his ground. Eden's eyes widen in surprise, his voice laced with genuine admiration. "You withstood that? You're much better than I expected." Rayon responds with a confident smirk, "If I can't withstand that much, I might as well give up on being a swordsman." Eden's eyes flash with excitement, and he raises his sword to attack once more. Rayon, anticipating the strike, readies himself to block the blow. As their swords clash, Eden exclaims, "That's a good mindset to have, you brat." His tone is a mix of admiration and mockery. Ben watches the intense battle unfold before him, his eyes wide with astonishment. The ground shakes beneath their feet as Rayon and Eden exchange blows, their swords clashing with fierce intent. Ben's thoughts are a jumble of confusion and surprise. Just what's going on? Even though that green battle phantom brought us down with a single attack, he's fighting him on equal footing. He can't believe his eyes. Rayon, who was supposedly no match for the phantom, is now holding his own against Eden. Ben's mind reels as he realizes, not only that, but he's using the same continuous flow sword technique as I had. A mix of emotions swirls within Ben: shock, confusion, and a hint of disappointment. He thinks to himself, "I thought I was catching up to him, but he's not even on the same level as a recruit." Martha's calm and collected voice breaks the silence. "That's his true power. What he showed us earlier was just the tip of the iceberg." Ben's eyes widen in stunned silence, his mind reeling from the implications. He's unable to utter a word, his thoughts consumed by the revelation. As Rayon and Eden continue their intense battle, Martha observes from the sidelines, her mind racing with concerns. She thinks to herself, however, this isn't enough. They seem equally matched, but Rayon hasn't had the time to recover the strength and aura he used during his surprise attack. Martha's eyes narrow, her gaze fixed on Rayon's struggling form. She worries about his dwindling energy, knowing that his chances of victory are slim. Her thoughts are laced with doubt. Will he be able to beat the green battle phantom, with the little strength he has left? As Martha and Ben continue to watch the intense battle, lost in their own thoughts, Runan's sudden voice breaks the silence. "We have to help Rayon." Martha's eyes snap towards Runan, her expression a mix of surprise and concern. Martha's eyes widen in alarm as she questions Runan's sanity. "Are you kidding? Don't you see that I'm also holding myself back?" You're even weaker than us, so what do you think you can even do? If you charge in there and make a single mistake, you'll die in a single hit. But Runan's resolve remains unwavering, her voice firm and resolute. She replies, that doesn't matter. With a fierce determination burning within her, Runan grips her sword tightly, preparing to charge forward into the fray. Martha's eyes narrow as she observes Runan's determined demeanor. She thinks to herself, I thought she'd be scared, but she's actually calmer than usual. Does that mean she's different from when she was just following Rayan around? Martha's gaze lingers on Runan, her expression a mix of curiosity and surprise. Ben's voice rings out in support of Runan. I'm embarrassed that I even hesitated. Like Runan said, we have to help Rayan. Martha's eyes widen in surprise, and she questions Ben's sudden boldness. Oi, have you already forgotten about that attack from earlier? Do you really think anything would change if the three of us rushed in? Martha's skepticism is palpable, her words laced with concern for their safety. Ben's voice rings out with conviction. Even so, I can't just turn a blind eye and leave a comrade to fend for themselves. We are swordsmen of Sieghart. His words are laced with pride and a strong sense of loyalty, echoing the values of the Sieghart swordsman. Ben's determination to stand by his comrades, no matter the danger, is unwavering. Martha's frustration is evident as she throws up her hands. Whatever. You guys better take responsibility if anything bad happens. But in a surprising turn, she leans in, her voice taking on a confidential tone. Let's put our lives on the line and fight. Her words are laced with a sense of determination and resolve. While on Rayan's side, Eden's eyes narrow slightly, a hint of surprise and admiration in his voice. It is surprising that a mere recruit would be able to last this long against me. You're talented to the point I'd like to recruit you into Eden. He pauses, his gaze intense. What is your name? Rayan's response is firm and resolute. Rayan Sieghart. His name is spoken with pride, a declaration of his identity and allegiance. Eden's expression darkens, his voice laced with anger and curiosity. Wait, are you perhaps a direct descendant of Sieghart? Seeing the color of your hair and eyes makes me wonder. His gaze intensifies, as if scrutinizing Rayan's every feature. It seems the blood of the northern king of annihilation runs thick within you. Eden's words are tinged with a mix of fascination and hostility. Eden's face twists in rage, his voice thundering. I take back my recruitment offer. As things are now, I will use whatever means possible to kill you. His words are laced with venom, his anger boiling over. With a fierce battle cry, Eden screams, no matter the cost, and swings his sword at Rayan with reckless abandon. Rayan's thoughts are a jumbled mix of alarm and desperation as he dodges Eden's frenzied attack. This lunatic, he thinks to himself, his mind racing to keep up with the intensity of the battle. As he narrowly avoids Eden's blade, Rayan realizes, he got faster. Is he utilizing his very life force to draw out more strength? Rayan's concern grows, his own strength still not fully recovered. He's relying on the ring of fire to hold on, but even that might not be enough. His thoughts are laced with a sense of urgency. I'm barely holding on, but I haven't fully recovered yet. The weight of his own vulnerability hangs heavy, as Rayan struggles to survive Eden's relentless onslaught. Rayan's eyes widen in shock as he notices a figure gripping a sword, jumping behind Eden to attack. His mind goes blank, and he becomes speechless. His thoughts stumble. Martha. Rayan's eyes are fixed on the figure, his brain struggling to process what he's seeing. Martha leaps into action, sword flashing in the light as she strikes Eden's back. The blade bites deep, and blood erupts from the wound, splattering everywhere. Eden's scream of pain and rage echoes through the air. Ack! As he spins around, his eyes blazing with fury, he fixes Martha with a contemptuous glare. A mere small fry like you dares to dash. Eden's words are laced with disdain, his tone implying that Martha is no match for him. Runan sprints past Rayan, her frost aura swirling around her. As she reaches the optimal distance, she unleashes her breath of winter, a chilling blast of frosty air that envelopes Eden. With perfect timing, Runan calls out to Ben, now. Ben bursts into action, speeding towards Eden with incredible agility. With a powerful leap, he jumps into the air, his sword at the ready. As he reaches the apex of his jump, Ben unleashes a mighty scream, HAAP, and activates his continuous flow sword technique, Starlight Entwined Radiance. A radiant glow envelopes Ben's sword as he begins to weave a complex pattern of strikes. Eden's massive hand shoots out, catching Ben in a vice-like grip. Ben's eyes widen in agony as Eden tightens his hold. Ben screams in pain, his voice echoing through the air. but Eden's expression remains impassive, his eyes gleaming with contempt. Eden's voice drips with disdain as he sneers at Ben. Did you think you could bring me down with such petty tricks? It seems you've greatly underestimated me. Eden's words are a crushing blow, his tone implying that Ben's efforts are nothing more than a nuisance. Eden's smirk widens, his voice dripping with condescension. If you aren't at least on the level of that blonde brat, you'll never be able to land a blow on me. Ben's expression remains steadfast, his eyes gleaming with determination. A hint of a smile plays on his lips as he responds, yeah, like you said, with the attacks we just used, it'd be hard to take you down. Ben pauses, his gaze never wavering from Eden's, but it can at least buy some time. Eden's eyes widen in surprise, his voice barely above a whisper, what? But before he can react, Martha unleashes her Titan aura, transforming into the meteor form, ultimate point. Her body glows with an intense, brown light as she jumps towards Eden. With a fierce battle cry, Martha screams, let's see if you can take this, Eden. Her sword flashes in the brown light, its blade biting deep into Eden's body. Eden's eyes go wide as Martha's attack slices through him, her sword passing through his torso with a spray of blood. The force of the blow sends Eden stumbling backward, his body trembling with the impact. Eden's face contorts in agony and rage, his voice thundering, Arg, you brats. With a swift and brutal motion, Eden hurls Ben towards Martha, the two colliding in midair. The impact is tremendous, their bodies crashing together with a sickening crunch. Both Ben and Martha scream in pain, their voices echoing through the air as they stumble backward, their bodies entwined. The force of the collision sends them both tumbling to the ground, their limbs tangled in a heap. Eden's eyes blaze with fury, his chest heaving with exertion. He takes a step forward, his massive frame looming over the two battered warriors. Eden's voice drips with disdain as he gazes down at Ben and Martha, his words laced with scorn. Mere insects like you ought to know their place. His expression twists in contempt. Do you not understand that this last stand of yours is meaningless? Eden's tone implies that their efforts are futile, that they are nothing more than insignificant specks to be crushed beneath his heel. Behind Eden, Rayon's eyes blaze with intensity as he charges his aura to its fullest potential. His voice thunders through the air, it's not meaningless. The ground trembles beneath Rayon's feet as he unleashes a mighty roar, his aura bursting forth in a spectacular display of power. The air around him seems to distort, as if the very fabric of reality is being warped by his energy. Eden's eyes widen in shock, his face frozen in a mixture of surprise and incredulity. He becomes speechless. Rayon's voice remains steady, his determination unwavering. Thanks, everyone. I had enough time to recover, thanks to your efforts. I'll make sure that this opportunity, that you've risked your lives for, won't go to waste. With a confident nod, Rayon declares, leave everything to me. It shown Ben and Martha, who lie unconscious on the ground, their bodies battered and bruised from the intense battle. Eden's eyes widen in astonishment as he turns to face Rayon, his voice filled with incredulity. How do you still have that much strength remaining? Just who are you? Rayon stands tall, his fiery aura blazing around him like a raging inferno. With a swift, deadly motion, he raises his sword, ready to strike. His eyes burn with intensity as he declares, Green Battle Phantom of Eden, you should feel honored. This is my first time using this technique against an enemy. Rayon's voice echoes through the air, filled with a sense of accomplishment and determination. I thought I wouldn't be able to use it yet, but thanks to the realization I made during this battle, I can. With a fierce battle cry, Rayon declares, Thousand Flames Technique, Winds of Blazing Dominion. As he speaks, his fiery aura surges to new heights, engulfing his body in a blazing inferno. The air around him seems to distort, as if the very fabric of reality is being warped by the intense heat emanating from his aura. With his sword at the ready, Rayon prepares to unleash a maelstrom of flames upon Eden, his eyes burning with an unyielding determination to emerge victorious. Eden's thoughts are a jumble of alarm and urgency as he realizes the true nature of Rayon's flames. What's with those flames? They're different from what he had earlier. My instincts are telling me that they're dangerous. With a growing sense of desperation, Eden knows he must act swiftly to eliminate the threat. I must kill him now, regardless of what it may take. Unleashing a fierce battle cry, Eden charges towards Rayon with reckless abandon. Rayon, anticipating this move, flashes forward with his fiery aura, his sword gleaming with an intense, orange light. With every ounce of strength at his disposal, Rayon slashes downward, unleashing a devastating blow that seems to embody the very essence of his being. The air shudders, the ground trembles, and the outcome hangs precariously in the balance as the two warriors clash in a spectacular display of power and fury. And that's where we leave off for this chapter. The outcome of the epic battle between Raon and Eden hangs in the balance. Will Raon's mighty blow prove too much for Eden, or will the green battle phantom find a way to withstand the attack? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling chapters and updates. Thanks for watching.